What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy and welcome back to a brand new video, and it's the return of Weekend Review. I've wanted to do this for a few weeks but I haven't really had the time. I just like talking about football not related to FPL, and this is where I get to do it. I'll talk about the weekend's results, and in the end I've decided I'm going to do my team of the week, who played the best this week. Not from an FPL perspective, just from a team perspective, from a performance perspective. And there are going to be some different players because the defenders, they don't get the points they deserve in FPL, but we move on to our first game, and well, there's no other place to start really. Sunderland versus West Brom was a I'll quit the joking. It was Tottenham versus Man City, a game which surprised quite a few people. I, for one, was slightly surprised. I predicted the draw. I thought Spurs would come out, they'd match Man City at their own game, a bit like Celtic game, maybe 2-2, 1-1, but it ended up being 2-0. And that really surprised me. And there are a few key components to that. One is that we've seen Man City come up against a tough team. I mean, admittedly, you've got, Man City, they play, they do play well. They've played against some, okay teams. Man United being one of them. But you look at it, apart from that, who have they faced? Sunderland, Stoke, West Ham, Bournemouth and Swansea. Everyone's saying, Everton, they've had how will Everton do? You look at that thinking, they've had some easy games. You're looking at Man City or looking at Tottenham saying, they've had a few easy games, But Man City have as well. And Tottenham, they've had a tough game against Liverpool, come out of that with a draw. Had a tough game against Man City, come out of that with a win. Why'd they do that? Well, they matched Man City at their own game. For me, they pressed high, they pressed well, and most importantly, I think the key to success this season for any team is putting pressure on their keeper, Bravo. He does not look good with the ball. He looks really, really nervy. Whether it's just a settling in period, I don't know. But he does not look good with the ball, and he was, constantly, losing the ball, being pressed, having to launch it upfield, and it's ironically funny how Guardiola praised Bournemouth because they were the only team that tried to play through him. Everyone went for the long ball over the top. In the end, that's what they forced Bravo to do. I think that's what you need to do. You need to force Bravo into making those errors so you get the ball back, charge up against Manchester City. Where else did it go wrong? I think, personally for me, there are a few things that went right before it went wrong for Man City. Victor Wanyama was a huge part in that. He played out of his skin, and many people, including myself, were like, well, hold on a minute, Eric Dyer, England national, solid England national, looking really good, why has he been dropped? Wanyama answered the question there. Yes, he picked up a yellow card, but Wanyama was brilliant. He was so fantastic. I believe he got man of the match as well. Understandably as well, it was fantastic to watch. And coming from a person, I really thought Wanyama was just a little bit too hot-headed to play in those sort of games and play for Spurs. He's really come out and showed himself in that game. He was fantastic. Another place it went right was I felt like the attack really confused Man City because Son was up there a bit, then you had Ali up there a bit, and I sort of switched around, and the attack in the end was just switching around, let people know that they didn't know where they were going. But in the end, Man City were beaten fair and square. Where did it slightly go wrong? You feel like there are a few players that Guardiola maybe needs to get rid of. Fernando being one. My goodness, Fernando's atrocious with the ball. You got the two fullbacks. They were solid for Pellegrini, solid for people before that. But when it comes to Guardiola's style of play, they don't really fit in. That was Zabaleta and Kolarov I'm talking to. Jesus Navas, he's not really a Guardiola type player. Many people, constantly criticising him in general. I think it's kind of deserved, but you're looking at Guardiola players. They're very, very quick. They're very good at pass. I don't think Jesus Navas really fits that mould. But in general, Spurs were the better team. Spurs are the better team, and it proves something that I've said every time I've watched Man City play: is that what happens against a tough team? What happens when Man City face a tough team? Because yeah, you can say Man City, they're playing against Man United, but besides that, Sunderland, Stoke, West Ham, Bournemouth and Swansea. And every game apart from Bournemouth, before this game, you were thinking they were going 1 or 2 goals up, and all of a sudden, goal back. And you're thinking, against Sunderland, it was 1-1. Against Stoke, it was 2-1 for a long period of time, and so they got the 2 late goals. West Ham, it was 2-1 for a long period of time. And Man United, it was 2-1 for a really long period of time. They just escaped with that one. And you got Swansea, again, it was 1-1 for a long period of time. There are a lot of games this season where Man City have just got over the line, and in this game, I think it shows that it's not going to be a walk in the park for Guardiola. Many people thinking, they're going to go unbeatables. I, for one, had 2 bets for unbeatables. It would have been Chelsea, and once the season started, I thought, Spurs do look quite solid. And I'd said it I said it right at the end of last season, Spurs will have a solid season this season. And it also shows the fact that transfers will come into play. I mean, Man City spent a lot on transfers. Admittedly, they haven't had the best of starts. Stones has not paid off his money that he's worth. But Tottenham haven't bought many players. They've bought players in certain positions that they need. But boy, have they paid off. Wanyama looks fantastic. He is a wonderful, wonderful signing. Sissoko, albeit 30 million is a bit too expensive, he's looked pretty good so far. Spurs in the end, I do think were the better team, much better team, deserve to win. Will they do the unbeatables? I don't think so. I think they will, lose a few games this season. But it, proves my point when people thinking, Spurs won't finish top 4. I put them in the top 4 for a reason. I think they're going to have a really good season again this season. If they don't end it as bad, as they did last season, they could have a really, really good end to the season. And I'm really hoping Spurs do stay up with the pace. I spent a lot of time on that. There's not really much else to talk about really from this week. It wasn't really the most exciting of weeks, or blockbuster 4-3s and all that. But there's a few more important games. I mean, Manchester United hosted Stoke, one of the worst teams so far, and managed to draw 1-1. Which was not too good, it wasn't too good from Manchester United. You're looking at the stats, you think it's 6-7% possession. They've had 24 shots and just 1 goal. Why was that Super League Grant? Why did he start saving so good? Because he remembered, hold on a minute, let's do this. I remember I was trained by the elites at Sheffield Wednesday. Former Sheffield Wednesday player, by the way. Joins the ranks of 2 in the same club now, Grant and Whelan, both ex-Sheffield Wednesday. That's the reason, really. William was fantastic as well. I'm not joking, really. But what happened? What went wrong? Well, Mourinho. For me, Mourinho is 100% the reason. And it's a bit too stale. I mean, admittedly, you've got to say Grant was playing out of his skin before I start criticising Mourinho. And the players for Man United, might I add. There are a few times where you think any other day that would have gone in, but Grant was like, you know what, Radar, that's not the right one. Anyway, he was like, I'm going to stop you there, and stopped you. I was like, no, you're not scoring this one. You want to score? Haha, no. And in the end, it was a fantastic curled shot from Anthony Martial that beats him. I don't think many goalkeepers would have saved that in the Premier League. That put him 1 up, and I think, here we go. Here we go. But, of all things to happen, and I can't believe I'm saying this, sarcasm intended, David De Gea made a mistake. Thinking, what? David De Gea make a mistake? When does that happen? He's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Well, back to Watford was his last mistake. If you're thinking, when can I remember the last mistake? He tried to go up with Smalling. They both had a miscommunication, both for error, and Ighalo missed the sitter, fortunately for De Gea. But De Gea made another mistake. The shot came in, he fumbled it, and in all fairness, they had 3 people there. Thinking, one of them could maybe stay on the line just in case. All 3 of them went towards the ball. They all tackled, bundled over each other. Crouchy misjudged the ball and was like, oh no. And Joe Allen luckily was there, bundled in an absolute screamer. It might be added. Oh, what a goal that was. And ended up making it 1-1. They hung on right until the end. And I feel like they deserve the point. They deserve the point. Because Lee Grant had a fantastic game, and I really do feel for goalkeepers when they have saved magnificently, have a fantastic game, but end up being on the losing side by just a goal. It really, really, it really makes you feel sorry for him. But Lee Grant was fantastic. He was absolutely magnificent. Saved real, real good shots. And for me, it could be a building block from Stoke, but again, I'm not 100%. I mean, if they'd have scored a fantastic goal, well-worked goal, I'm thinking yes, but the goal was from a Man United mistake, and that's where I think will Stoke do well. I'm not sure. I have to see him against the teams that aren't as standard and player calibre of Manchester United. I think they've got Sunderland next week, or after the international break, that is. So that'll be an interesting one to do. But as for Man United, where did it go wrong for them? De Gea made a mistake again. You also look at the fact that maybe isn't going to be as plain sailing. They got fantastic result against Leicester, and again, like the Man City game with Guardiola, it's another smack down to earth for Mourinho. Immediately, Guardiola's only on his second one. I mean, Celtic gave his first smack down to earth, and Spurs was his second. Man United just says a third one. I feel like, and they need to change. I think Lingard didn't have the best of games, but that got him in the England team. So each their own. Rashford. Again, a bit slow into the game, but they need to start, finding the team. They need to start finding the pace, finding the players. But again, I'm not a fan of Mourinho, so I'm gonna say no more before I go into a rant about Mourinho. There's one last game I want to talk about in depth, and that is Swansea versus Liverpool. Now, this one was a real strange one. There's a spider crawling up my wall, quite a small one. But I thought, you know what, Guidelin is under pressure, and wrongfully so. I'll get onto that in a sec. But I feel like Liverpool could blow them away here. You know, the FPL predicted quite a few Liverpool players to do well. In the end, it was a really tight 2-1 win to Liverpool, and Swansea deserved more from the game than a loss, I feel like. Swansea deserved more. I mean, admittedly, you look at the stats, Liverpool are going to be more, they're going to have more shots on target, more corners, more possession. It's the way Liverpool play. But with the team, admittedly, it did hurt Liverpool losing Lallana. Lallana's been a fantastic player for them. And, he was a big loss. But for Swansea, they really did play well. Leroy Fer coming in for his 4th goal of the season, I believe, and had a fantastic start to the season. He's playing like the player he was a few years ago, because he sort of lost that a bit when he moved to QPR. People thinking, he could move to Man City, could move to a big team. He's lost that. Now he's looking like the Leroy Fer that turned up on the scene a few years ago. Really good player. But it was really interesting game. I think I'm pretty sure Liverpool in the end were going to get the win. I mean, the way they were playing. I was listening to the radio on the work, and the way they were describing it, Liverpool were just attacking, and it's worrying. Worrying to Liverpool because it's a game where attackers haven't really performed. It's another Milner penalty, 4 in 7 games now. But Sturridge again, I don't think he was too best, booed a lot by the fans because of a dive. Liverpool, they got a win. That's the most important thing. They did Man City. They were nervy, probably didn't deserve the win, but got the win. That's the most important thing, and that speaks volumes. Could speak volumes for the end of the season. Well, Liverpool finish. I still think they'll finish top 4, and if they keep on performing like that, not the best, but when they aren't performing the best and they're having one of their off days, pulling out wins, they will finish in top 4 quite easily. So Liverpool, for me, they have nothing to worry about. It was an off game. They've had one against Burnley. They had one against Swansea now, but they got the win. That's most important, and that's all I can say on that one. So what else happened in the Premier League? Well, Everton drew 1-1 with Crystal Palace, a goal either side for a Belgian beast, and you got, the early game, which was Swansea versus Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, bring that 1-2. I haven't talked about that. Chelsea beat Hull 2-0, goals from Willian and Diego Costa just a few minutes apart. Then we got Sunderland versus West Brom. Oh, what a game that was. Nasser Chadli scored on one side and Patrick Van Aanholt scored on the other. So, boring. That's all I can say about that one. Boring. We've got Watford drawing 2-2 with Bournemouth, a goal fest there. You've got Jack Wilson picking up a yellow card. There's a shock. You've got Callum Wilson scoring, Troy Deeney hitting back. Then you've got Joshua King hitting for Bournemouth, and Isaac Success grabbing his first goal for Watford, making that one 2-2. Looks like a real ding-dong battle, real good game that one. West Ham 1-0. You got Stuani scoring, and then also Dimitri Payet grabbing a goal. Move on to Sunday. Burnley lost, unfortunately, to an accidental handball by Laurent Koscielny, making that 1-0. Spurs, of course, beat Man City. Leicester drew 0-0 with Saints. What a good game that looked. And Man United, of course, drew 1-0. But how am I going to end this? Well, my team of the week. And I'm going to basically be looking at players I think performed well, and who, basically what formation am I going to play? 4-2-3-1. Who deserves to be in there? First of all, has a goalkeeper, Lee Grant. He was magnificent. He was absolutely fantastic. I think Garth Crooks put him in his. That's what I'm using to get this the BBC Sport team of the week thing. So you can challenge Garth Crooks 2-3-2-3 formation. But Lee Grant was fantastic. Definitely deserved the goalkeeper spot. Fullbacks. Well, I picked 2 Spurs fullbacks, Walker and Rose, basically because they played out of their skins. There's a lot of Spurs players in here because they honestly deserved it. They played fantastically, and they definitely played the best. Also, a bit arguably in a few positions they could have been other players, but yeah, I've gone for Walcott and Rose because they deserved it. Centre backs, the North London partnership of Alderweireld and Mustafi. Reason for Mustafi, I think if it would have been 0-0, Mustafi would have played slightly been deemed better than Koscielny. Koscielny, of course, got that goal, got him the bonus points in FPL, and got him all the headlines. Alderweireld as well, he looked much better. I think Garth Crooks put Alderweireld and Vertonghen in. I put Milner at left back. I think Milner scored a penalty, conceded a goal, didn't really deserve it too much. Whereas Alderweireld was a lot sturdier. I think Rose got the assist Rose definitely got the assist for the collarbone goal. And Vertonghen looked a bit worrisome, a bit nervy. So there is that. I've gone with 4-2-3-1, so I've got two centre midfielders. Starting off, Joe Allen. He played out of his skin. Of course, got the goal, an important goal for Stoke, making it 1-1. Definitely deserves a spot in the team of the week. Alongside him, you need a offensive player, Wanyama. He was the star of the show for me against Manchester City. Definitely deserves a mention. Right wing, Willian, of course, he played against Hull. There's always that. Willian had a good game, grabbed a goal, deserves to be in the team of the week. On the left, we've got Dimitri Payet. He's fantastic, schoolboy-esque type run. It was brilliant to watch. He deserves a spot on the left. You got Dele Alli playing in between them because he played fantastically, grabbed the goal and the important second goal. And up front, I've gone with Heung-Min Son. There's probably better players to put. You could put Diego Costa in there, you could put Lukaku in there, but I've gone with Son because the swapping with Ali and Son was fantastic. Really confused Manchester City, and I feel like they both deserve a spot in the team of the week. But that is that for this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and it's a mega long video. I'm looking at it. It's currently probably over 15 minutes worth of football talking, but it's going to be a big watch for you. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. And if you've got this far, leave a smiley face in the comments, and I might do something special. I don't know. I'll think of something. But thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.